The most money I made in a single Wardogs match was $412,000. I had 72 kills and 0 deaths, all from the battle tank. And I still wouldn't tell you that tanks are the best way to make money in Wardogs, because after playing the alpha and the beta, I think the better question is, what's the best way to make money for the way you actually want to play the game? If you want action, there's definitely a role that stood out to me. And if you want less risk, there are safer options. But if you want some ridiculous upside, I'll come back to that $412,000 game. If you're new here, I'm Platypus. I've got over 60 hours in Wardogs between the alpha and the beta, and these are the methods that actually work for me. And one quick thing, your weapon also contributes toward progression. So SMGs progress medic, ARs progress assault, shotguns progress support, and snipers progress recon. So you can work toward different unlocks without permanently committing to just one role, and that becomes important. So early on, medic was the strongest active moneymaker that I found, and I never really planned on becoming a medic main. I really only wanted the 2 unlocks, which was the defibrillators and the orange IFAK. And once I had the defibs, I could fight around the hot zone and turn into a money-making machine. I'd throw my smokes, I'd get to my teammates, I'd revive them a lot faster with the defibs. And then if I had to heal myself, I could use the IFAK to restore my health way faster than just using bandages one by one. And so that meant more time fighting, more revives, and I had more chances to keep earning this way. So early on, medic made my bankroll climb faster than any other infantry role I played, but medic wasn't the goal. I wanted the tools to heal and revive faster. So once I had those tools, the defibs and the IFAK, I could build a hybrid assault setup. I could grab an AK or a Galil, I could push a hot zone, and I could look for fights right away. But now I could also heal myself quickly, and I could pick up teammates with the defibs. So instead of only earning from kills and objectives, I had more ways to make money in the same fight. Because I was using cheaper ARs, dying didn't completely erase my profit. And making 20 grand doesn't mean much if you spend 15 grand replacing the kit you just handed to somebody. So if your priority is combat first while still making good money, assault is where I would lean. But the important part is medic progression made my assault setup 1,000 times better. Then you've got ground taxi, transport helicopters, supply runs, and fob building. And all of these can absolutely make money with less immediate risk. The fob building probably has a higher ceiling than I originally gave it credit for. And if you build useful fobs and keep them supplied and your team actually uses them, the money can stack up fast. So if your only goal is raw cash, dedicated support or fob building can absolutely beat medic in the right match. Support progression also gets you better building equipment, anti-vehicle weapons, and faster vehicle repairs. And I think that those tools will become more valuable as everybody progresses. Taxing felt relatively safe during the beta because a lot of players still had a low level, but once everyone has proper anti-vehicle equipment, the Uber business is going to get a lot more dangerous. So I'd separate them like this. Medic needs an active fight and gives you more consistent active income. Fob building needs supplies, good locations, and teammates that are actually going to use what you build. But it can have a higher ceiling for sure when everything lines up. Recon was the slowest money-making role I played, especially if you're relying purely on sniper kills. And the first sniper rifle is absolutely trash. It's terrible. The most Nagant and the SKS made the role much more enjoyable, but the most useful money-making tool I found was actually the rangefinder. Spotting enemies gives you another way to earn while helping your team. And Recon also felt strongest right at the beginning of a match. Everybody's typically building fobs, moving supplies, and there's a lot of standing around. So it's a perfect time for spotting and easy targets. But after that, if you're playing Recon specifically to get rich, I wouldn't. Play it because you want the rifles, the suppressors, the better ghillie suits, and the slower stealth playstyle. Now here's the catch. The battle tank cost $500,000 just to unlock, and I did not pay that. My friend already owned it, and I was his gunner. So I got the upside without paying the entry cost. And that match was 100% an outlier. We took damage, but our teammates kept us supplied and alive, and somehow we survived the entire game. And that absolutely did not happen every time I got into a tank. So yes, armor can make ridiculous money when everything goes right. But telling somebody building their first bankroll, hey, just buy the $500,000 tank, isn't very useful, because getting to $500,000 is the hard part. There isn't one answer. If you want the highest potential cash ceiling, fob building can make a ton of money when the match cooperates. If you want lower risk and a steadier income, taxiing and logistics will work. But if you want to stay directly involved in the fight, medic was the strongest early option I personally found. My biggest takeaway was progression. I didn't level medic because I wanted to stay medic. I wanted the defibs and the IFAC so I could use them in an aggressive assault playstyle. And I could fight, and I could play the hot zone, I could heal myself and revive my teammates, and ultimately stay alive longer. And the longer you stay alive, the more opportunities you have to keep earning. So for me, it wasn't really medic or assault. It was use medic progression to make my assault playstyle better. And you can do the same thing with the other progression paths. Build when your team needs a fob, lean into that medic when the hot zone turns into a meat grinder, and use the weapons and equipment that move you toward the unlocks that you actually care about. Because you're not just asking, how do I make the most money? You're also asking, what do I want to unlock while I'm making it? So don't just chase whichever role supposedly makes the most cash. Build the progression that makes you more profitable playing the way you actually want to play.